Hello guys, so remember when I said that Advanced Vice Bodyguard was the worst movie of 2021? I made that whole ranking and stuff. Well, there is a worse movie than that movie. Yep, there was a worse movie than Hitman's Vice Bodyguard. Yet Hitman's Vice Bodyguard was a massive disappointment. But at least it had good moments as well. But this is a movie that exists. Yeah, I think you have read the title. You know what movie I'm talking about. Space Jam: A New Legacy. So everybody says this movie is terrible, and I agree with them. I see this movie just like hours ago. It was on the HBO thing for free. I almost did, on the same side I watched, Toy and Red. I was like, no, I'm not gonna subject myself to it at that moment. But I said, you know what? I'm just gonna watch it so I can see it and, you know, in case I ever have any kids, I could warn them about how bad this movie is and how horrible it is, which it is. So basically, we have Space Jam: A New Legacy. So basically, uh, LeBron James and his son get trapped by an AI, and because they insulted the AI. Therefore, he wants to get revenge on LeBron James for calling the AI stupid. Yep, that's basically the start of the movie. He calls the AI stupid, and the AI says, "You know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna put you in this fucking game, my fucking game. Okay, it's. And of course, this movie is loaded with advertisements for other Warner Brothers properties, including movies like The Matrix Resurrections, was flopped. Or I can't wait to see that movie. It's gonna suck, but you know. So this is the sequel to Space Jam, and also they also make fun of the fact they also make fun of Michael Jordan, confusing him with Michael B. Jordan. Okay, that's another part of the movie. But basically, unlike the first movie, not game, first movie, well, basically they're losing because they are running out of energy and they don't know what to do, and they drink water basically, and they basically beat the guys, and and stuff, and they beat the villain of the movie, who was played by Danny DeVito, and the Monsters. But this movie, they basically said, you know what? Basically, the reason why they're losing the basketball game is because the Looney Tunes are not allowed to be themselves. They're basically cells of themselves as well. Because in this game, LeBron James' son, Judd, which, yeah, LeBron James in this movie has a son, and basically, you know, he is different. And of course, in this movie, LeBron James' son is basically the next Bill Gates. Okay? He's the next Bill Gates. He's the next Elon Musk. He's the next, tech guy. Which I kind of find it hard to believe. Okay? Especially the son of LeBron James being a tech wizard. Okay? This may, is just why. Okay? The only redeeming part of the movie is the Looney Tunes. And even then, the Looney Tunes are not as great as the original movie. They aren't even allowed to be the Looney Tunes until the last 40 minutes of the movie, because LeBron James says we must do it my way or the highway, which really seems throughout the movie LeBron James is an asshole. He treats his own son horribly, which causes him to go with the AI. He treats the Looney Tunes horribly, which almost makes him lose the game. And the weird thing is, you still see advertising for this movie. Yep, they advertised the F out of this movie, and it's still flopped. It's still lost money. Okay, that's the most hilarious thing in the world. They advertised the hell out of this movie. When this movie came out in theaters, okay, it was everywhere at the stores. On Doritos, you had this ad for Space Jam: A New Legacy. You had Space Jam macaroni. You had everything with Space Jam printed on it. Okay, and basically, it still flopped because this movie sucked. It was not a good movie, and even the IMDb score reflects that this isn't a good movie. It isn't. It has a 4.4 on IMDb, which is abysmal for a big blockbuster movie. Also, the CGI is horrible. The CGI, when they turned that guy to the Looney Tunes into CGI, it looks not good. Okay. Yeah, this is the CGI scene. It looks not good. Okay. And basically, they're supposed to be making fun of how Hollywood wants to totally make the CGI, but they just look off as well. And why the Wizard World worked so well is because they kept to the 2D animation and did not make these CGI monstrosities in these movies. They don't work half bad, but again, did we really need to turn them into CGI monstrosities? No, we did not. So overall, Space 7 New Legacy is probably one of Warner Bros.' worst movies ever made. I'll give this movie a 2 out of 10. I almost give this a 3 out of 10 because some of the redeeming scenes of the Looney Tunes. But LeBron James is just an asshole throughout the movie until the very end. And the plot is very generic as well. And it's just a gigantic advertisement for Warner Brothers properties as well. Also, the Looney Tunes, don't really add much to the story because they're not allowed to be the Looney Tunes basically at all until they're losing and then they have to be the Looney Tunes. The new characters are also very, very forgettable and will probably not ever be used again, just like the monsters of the original movies, which actually got a cameo in this movie as well. So overall, this movie is a horrible movie, and I would watch it.